Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with a silly deck. We are playing Blue, Yellow, Queen, the same list I had in the Queen video we had. I knew that locals were going to be kind of weird and I didn't want to play anything too crazy, so I decided, hey, you know what, Queen is very fun for me, let's play Queen. So we end up playing against Oden in our first round, and we end up just swinging the 5 there just to get a card out of his hand, which is pretty cool, and then dropping the Doflamingo blocker to sort the top of our life. And look at that, that is good enough where I don't want to put it to the bottom, but that's not a lot of counter, and yeah, I'm gonna do the best I can with what this hand is giving me, and I think I am sitting in front of a sign, a light up sign they have, so I am sorry about the glare, but the way the tables are super cool, but my clip doesn't clip onto all of them. It's a little tough, but you know, we make do. So we end up playing the Doflamingo and passing turn over to Oden, and I am feeling okay with this hand. We got the red rock, we've got the X-Drake, which X-Drake is really, I think, really good in this list, but he swings and we just take and we get Queen. I feel like not Queen, excuse me, that is Charlotte Linlin. I know my One Piece characters. I feel like Linlin is better in this deck than in most other decks, if that makes sense. But not much to do here, so we end up swinging 5 and he takes his life, and we just do the same thing. We are going to tap and we're going to look through the top 5 again. We do know what's coming, but we get to see an extra, and we see the Teach. So yeah, we just move Teach up front, and I am going to be counting what dawn I'm at and trying to figure out my turn, so that may take me a little bit of time. But I am thinking about setting it up so I can blind flip into Linlin, but realistically I decide I want to blind flip into Katakuri, or quote-unquote blind flip, if you will. We do have a decent amount of counter in hand, which is nice because this deck is a deck that can be kind of bricky. So having the Hiyori, the 1 of 2, I think, Hiyori in there is pretty nice. And I know, like, with this list I was thinking about running maybe the 5-cost Egghead Nami, but I don't know, I haven't really tested that, don't know if it'll be worth it, but he does play down the Izo giving his leader Arrested Dawn, making him a 6k leader, and that really does make the game a lot more difficult until you can start establishing those larger bodies. So yeah, a little tough, but ends up using the Nami to put a Rested Dawn on there, which the Nami is not something I use when I was playing Oden, but like it's good. I like it. I think that having Nami in this list is really good. But I digress. Do love me an Oden play here, or a Oden deck. So I am thinking about playing the Queen, or the Linlin. I don't know why I keep calling her Queen, because Charlotte Linlin is a queen. But we do just end up tapping 6 to red rock the Izo, putting Izo to the bottom. Seeing a lot of removal this game, really helpful. And then we swing 6 at life. Worst case scenario, we're getting a card out of hand. Best case scenario, we are getting a life. And yep, we do get the Ryuma out of hand. That does end up having counter because of Oden's leader ability. So yeah, really solid. I think Ryuma is a really good card. Honestly, I love that card, and the PRB alt art is oh so good. But yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where I want to start minimizing my hand size so I can start you know, healing with Queen as much as I can. And there is I'm kind of regretting using red rock at this moment. There's the Yamato, the double attack banish Yamato, that could really put a damper in my day. You know, so I am thinking about just tossing 3 cards to counter potentially. Yep, I do end up tossing Teach, which is a little unfortunate. I would have really liked to use Teach, but I didn't really get the opportunity too much to use Teach. But he does end up playing the Rosinante, which is pretty pretty big here, and I'm a little nervous. I did think I had Red Rock there, but it's okay. Or not Red Rock, excuse me, Grav Blade. Grav Blade would have been good, but I do know that I can just 9-drop Sanji into that Katakuri, and I'm going to put that at the bottom of his life. I do not want to have to deal with the Katakuri, or excuse me, the Yamato double attack banish, especially because I am starting to lose cards in hand, so I can, use Queen ability. And I think there's a couple times in this tournament where I don't use Queen ability correctly. But yeah, that's I'm not super familiar with Queen, so it's a mistake for sure, but we digress. So we end up passing turn, my opponent taking some time to think about what he wants to do. Katakuri really kind of saving us a lot of trouble there, because that would have hurt. The double attack banish is, I think, a really good card, especially in the Oden deck, because it does gain, does it have counter on it naturally? I know in Oden it ends up getting counter, but I don't remember if it has counter naturally. So Yamato ability and Nami ability ends up giving Oden 2 Rest at Dawn, and he ends up tapping. He's thinking about tapping 2, or tapping some more. Taps 1 for another Nami, putting another Rest at Dawn. I'm definitely sweating at this point. Like, that is going to be a big hit. Where is he going to put the rest of his Dawn? He ends up trashing the Izo and playing out another Nami, which is like crazy. That's so many Namis. So putting another Rest at Dawn. I think that's a 10k swing. And I just opt to take it, and we get the Red Rock, and I decide I want to send Rosinante to the bottom, just because I don't want him to have the ability to use the Rosinante. And I think it's a 4 or less on Red Rock, and I knew I was getting Grav Blade. There is the Grav Blade, and yeah, we are gonna just Grav Blade one of those Namis and the Yamato. I think that Yamato from EVO1 is a really good card. I'd love to see it used in more decks. I think it's kind of a niche card. Not a lot of red Wano, as far as I can think of off the top of my head. So I think so. I end up swinging 6 here, and I go to heal, and I'm like, no, wait, hold on. I don't think I get to heal or draw, because my hand size is too big. I have 3 cards and 2 life. But he does end up taking the 6k swing. So we end up swinging, I think that's 9 with Katakuri, and he takes. And we are just going to do another swing with Sanji and get his life low. He doesn't get cards in hand now, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm feeling pretty good at this point of the game, honestly. Like I can play this right. I'm not really sure what he can do. I'm sure he has something that can ruin my day, but I mean, I don't think there's anything that he can play that rests X-Drake, which is very helpful. But he does play out the Hiyori, which is a really good play. I think he ends up playing Dendro, which hurts, and I don't think he actually drew on the Hiyori play, which I know he is a newer player, so and that's not, I didn't catch that, otherwise I would have, but I would have let him know. But yeah, so he ends up using Nami, but 2 of the Namis to put the Rest of Dawn on lead. Gonna be swinging pretty aggressively, trying to figure out how many cards I have in hand. And with the 3 cards I have in hand, I could potentially counter out of this. I think he's just in a position where he doesn't have anything else to do besides swing really aggressively. And I am trying to think through here, and I do end up countering out because I have the Hiyori, and now I'll be able to use Queen ability to, I know there's not another attack coming, and yeah, I can use Queen ability to get something going there. Excuse me. And I think that this play, if I remember correctly, I think that this is pretty good. I leave the Dawn there because I know I'm going to be swinging with the Dawn. Queen needs the Dawn to get her ability, and I'm thinking about swinging with Mordon. I end up doing that, and with Queen ability, I could heal, and I think I was thinking about drawing and then playing Queen if I needed to, or Lin. My goodness. But yeah, I swing really aggressively with the Katakuri there, and he cannot counter out. So we do end up getting the game. Really fun game, honestly. It was fun to play. I mean, it was really fun to play Queen. Just not something completely meta. And it was fun to play into Oden, which again is not something completely meta. So overall, really fun time. I think I played that game pretty well. I do think that I saw what I needed to see, and that was very helpful. But yeah, I mean, overall, I am happy with this game, and I wanted to show that I think that, you know, if you have a leader that you want to play, go for it. I mean, if you're not competing at a top level, like, have fun with the game. That's what's most important. But I will shut up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. Helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.